press conference or an interview, he'd really sort of doubled down on that trip to Dubai. As soon as Celtic are deemed to do something wrong, bang, you're all wanting blood. It's absolutely scandalous. The fallout from this has been way too much. It's not a stag do. It isn't an 18 to 30, even though it's been portrayed like that. My apologies to the fans, because 13 players and 3 staff had to isolate for 10 days, which is ludicrous. I'm not apologising for anything else. I'm not apologising for going out there and training for a week. I'm not apologising for the players having a day off. The whole squad is negative bar 2 players. I think it's remarkable. It totally blows out of the water the way the training camp has been portrayed by certain quarters of the media, by certain pundits, and by certain government officials as well. Ewan Murray texted for a pithy quote, who said, "Inevitably gone at the end of the season. Every chance he will now go sooner. Their problem is they have no plan B." I mean, I guess obviously the optics are not great, and you read the room flying to the Middle East when everyone is locked in their house. And even if you have one beer, even 2 of you have one beer and the rest of you are teetotal, it looks terrible. Ostensibly, is there any difference to flying to Dubai as flying to, Inverness, really?
Yeah, the optics are bad, and I think if Rangers, who are 20 points clear, go flying to Dubai, then I don't think there's anything like the uproar about it. I think that part of the reason that people are getting so up in arms about this is not just what they did, but the fact that they did it while being really bad, and while losing. And these things, the situation at Celtic seems to have snowballed very quickly. And once you get into one of these scenarios, it's like when you're living with someone, you're in a bad relationship, and everything they do annoys you. Everything they do just really, really pisses you off. And why do you scratch your nose like that? Why do you scratch your nose? And it is like that, which is not to downplay, what Celtic have done by going to Dubai, which is clearly, angered a lot of people for legitimate reasons. But it does feel a little bit like, they can't really catch a break at the moment.
Everything okay at home, Johnny?
Oh yeah, no, we're fine. We're fine.
Jordan, you wanted to talk about Mesut Ozil.
Yeah, so we know that obviously he's moved on now, finally, from Arsenal, and the conversation around his legacy and how well he's done at Arsenal and how he'll be remembered as a Premier League player has been frequented often in the last week or so. But it's just got me thinking about a talented player that was put on a fat contract and then seemingly he wasn't played maybe where he wanted to be played at times, but just chucked it in. And it kind of got me thinking about other players that maybe are on big contracts, like kind of like Sanchez at United. I don't know if that was a tactical thing or if it's a psychological thing when you just mentally tap out when you're put on a certain wage. If there's something in the human brain that when you are at a level of financial comfort, it impacts your performance. I couldn't think of any other players who had been on, really chunky. Gareth Bale was seeing at Spurs. Maybe Joseph's the problem there, but I couldn't think of any other players or even athletes that are put on mega contracts and their performance goes up. And I just wondered if maybe the discussion around people like Mesut Ozil isn't so much, he's not delivering and Bale because of fitness and tactical reasons, but psychologically, Aubameyang we're seeing, at my club as well.
Alexis Sanchez.
Yeah, Sanchez another one as well. So I just wonder if there's something about that level of financial comfort that even if you're not trying to play worse, you kind of just subconsciously do. And
do you think also that it's obviously comparative, right? Because all of them, everyone at Real Madrid has financial comfort, but it's even more comfort than everyone else around you. Do you think it's that?
Maybe knowing that I'm getting paid, even though you're getting paid lots of money, I'm getting paid even more than you. And I just wonder if there is a kind of psychological element of putting football players on those uber wages that it just prevents you psychologically from still performing to a high level, even if you are trying to. I don't think that Aubameyang this season has tried to not score goals, but it's no coincidence that it's happened when he signed the contract. Maybe this 2 years of carrying Arsenal, the load was gonna fall eventually. But it just got me thinking about players on huge wages and being able to perform to that elite level as well.
I think there's it depends on the character slightly. I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo has been getting put on enormous contracts since he was 23, and it doesn't seem to have affected him. Whereas with